Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing one that's a bit different. There's no content in this one. I'm running over a few things you should know about the new update and then the best perks to use for new players, both survivors and killers alike. And I've just got a few other tips to tell you along the way. So before we get into any of that, I really want to tell you guys that right now, if you haven't and you've got anywhere between 100 and 700 hours, I'm assuming that you may be on your way to get all your teachables before this update happened. I would recommend getting as many people to Prestige 1 before the update as you can. They've confirmed it on Twitter. You'll instantly jump to Prestige 3, and that will unlock all perks on all other survivors. If you have everyone Prestige 1 after the update, for instance, you would never have to get another perk from any other survivor, because the only ones you'll have left are the standard ones that don't come from survivors. So yeah, it'll just give you all the perks in the game and set you up really nicely. And this is the only time they're going to offer that, because this is a catch-up mechanic for people that have worked previous to this update. Anyways guys, if you can't manage that, don't worry about it, it's going to be fine. Okay, we're just going to go through the most, not all perks are good anyway, so we're going to go through the most valuable perks to you if you're starting out as a beginner, to get those blood points, win games, learn the maps, and just have the best time possible in Dead by Daylight. So we're going to run over survivors really quickly. I've got a full list here and we've got some honorable mentions as well. So we're going to be running through first, we're going to be running through the best perks for if you have DLCs or don't mind buying DLCs. We're going to be running through the best perks for if you don't want to buy any DLCs and you just want to use the standard characters. And then we've also got some honorable mentions, 2 of each. So it's going to be for everyone guys, whether you want to spend money or not, whether you're a beginner or not, they're still going to tell you what the best perks are going to be, in my opinion, for a newer player that needs some assistance with their games. Alright, so after that all being said and done, let's go ahead and jump straight over the survivor perks that you should really take a look at using. So, off the record right now, not that good. After the update, however, it's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be like an extended borrowed time that also grants you Iron Will, which means that you don't make any noise, which is basically going to stop you from getting tunneled. DS is now irrelevant. In my opinion, it's totally just trash. And now off the record is the new anti-tunnel, anti-hook build, because although they've brought in a base borrowed time, that's not going to be enough and people can just wait that out before you even make it to a pallet. So off the record, in my opinion, if you want to win games, this is a must. Otherwise, I'm sure you can figure out good builds if you're a more experienced player, but again, we're just going to stick to this. Prove Thyself, it's really good. You don't need to think about anything. It's just going to increase your team's repair speeds and give you more blood points. So with the new update, they've also increased the cap of each thing from 8,000 to 10,000 in each category. So for things like doing generators, you're going to be able to get those extra 2,000 blood points. Now, without this perk, you're not going to make it to that 10,000 blood points. But with this perk, if you work with any teammate on a few gens, 1 gen, 2 gen, or just in between chases, stuff like that, you're going to get extra blood points and it's going to help you repair those gens faster, which is never a bad thing. So yeah, this one's definitely a pickup and it's on Dwight, so everyone has it and it's just a really good perk. Next up, we got Winner's Opportunity. I love this. Really good players love this. Everyone loves this, all right? It's going to help you loop, learn the maps. It's just going to help you live. Okay, first few times you use it, if you haven't played much Dead by Daylight and you haven't got to loop the killer, it's going to be a bit tough. Once you get used to it though, you might be able to do an extra couple loops, and the more you play, you'll get better and better, and who knows, maybe soon you'll be looping the killer for a few minutes, a few gens, or all the gens, you never know. So yeah, this perk is absolutely nuts. It's going to tell you what pallets have been dropped, what pallets are there, what pallets aren't there, where the windows are, and all that sort of stuff. So definitely a must in my opinion. And the last perk we're going to go over is Lithe. Now, this is replaceable, obviously. I don't think Dead Hard is good anymore. I don't think it's good for anyone, in my opinion. I don't think you should use it. They released it so that now the Deep Wound doesn't stack. So if you're running off the record, Dead Hard's useless. So that, in my opinion, is just too much of a caveat to the perk. So I would recommend one of the other perks. And for newer people, lots of people say Sprint Burst. But in my opinion, if you can get Lithe or Balanced Landing, they are better because then you won't waste it, okay? I see a lot of new people bring in Sprint Burst and they walk around the map the entire time. That's not how you want to use Sprint Burst, okay? Otherwise, you're just going to waste your team's time a whole lot. So bringing in a perk like Lithe or Balanced Landing or one of the other ones, whatever you want to do, Overcome, any of those, it's going to help you just time your exhausted effect to when you actually need it, okay? So obviously when you run around the map, you're looking for gens at the start. You're not going around vaulting windows usually, okay? So you're gonna try and just keep this until you need it, and then hopefully just save your team, you know, an extra 10 seconds on a chase. That is perfect. That is the use of this perk. Get you to another loop, get you to a pallet gym, get you to shack, get you out of shack, everything like that. Life's brilliant, okay? Also the same with balance landing. It's a little bit more technical. You're gonna need to know where you can jump off of to proc balance landing. Balance landing also does have an extra effect on top that most people look over. It's not just the exhausted with balance landing. When you drop, it's gonna recover you quicker so that, you know, when a killer drops off, he doesn't have to like hit the ground with his hands. He just walks straight off. You are going to take like a tank at the bottom and you're going to stop for a few seconds. So balance landing is super great for that too. But again, it's only if you want to get comfortable using it. Lithe is my go-to perk there as well. Now we're going to look over the perks if you don't have any DLCs. Okay, there's plenty of great perks. Okay, so don't be worried. Don't feel like you have to go get off the record or anything like that. These ones are going to do you just fine. So of course we've got Prove Thyself again. That's just a staple. But to go along with that, we've got Adrenaline. This one you won't have to think about as well. It's going to give you an instantly heal once health state. And it's going to help you in the late game. A lot of times people are going for saves, getting off hooks. Now this, if you're on the hook and you get saved when the exit gates are opened, it's going to just give you a sprint burst and heal you when you get off the hook. So it's going to potentially save your life. It's just really good, and it's just always been one of the best perks. So yeah, if you can get this one, definitely take it. Sprint burst is the next one. So obviously there isn't any other ones other than what I've already gone over, balance landing and life. So if you do want to run sprint burst and you're capable with it, go ahead, but I would recommend not to hold it the entire game. It's going to waste your time. The time it takes to get on a gen will be wasted by the time you save with the sprint burst. So I would recommend that at the start of the game, you know he's on anyone, sprint burst over to a gen, save that time with sprint burst, and really just get those gens pumping, because that's the best way you're going to help your team. And that's why I don't recommend this perk as much as the other ones, because you're going to have to kind of macro it. And then of course we've got Kindred, which is honestly one of the best perks. Just helps out your entire team, not just you. It's gonna, when you're on the hook, it's gonna show the killer's aura to tell your team if who's coming to save you, where the killer is going, if they're still around you on the hook, all those sorts of things. So yeah, this is absolutely nuts for all those sorts of things, and I would say definitely put it on. This one doesn't even come from a survivor, so you can use this on any survivor if you're brand new, just by leveling up a few times and looking for this in the blood web. Alright, so now we've run out of the staples for if you have DLCs. If you don't, obviously there's heaps of other good perks that I'm not going to go through today, but we do have a few more honorable mentions. So first up, we've got Circle of Healing. It's one of the best perks for a team in the game. It's going to give your whole team the ability to self-heal, and just a nice zone that you have where you can just go to heal faster and heal yourself as well. So it's absolutely nuts. It's going to help out your team an immense amount, and yeah, it's just an absolutely great perk. Next up, we've got Botany Knowledge, which is going to get buffed on top of what it already does. It's just going to increase your healing speed and healing item efficiency. So again, if you run this with Circle of Healing, your heals are going to be so fast, and it's just going to feel so nice. So yeah, definitely run this one if you like to be a bit more altruistic, or if you just want to heal that little bit quicker, and it will save you time, which is always what you were looking for in a perk. Next, we have Unbreakable. So this one is a little bit different. Obviously, it's not going to help you every trial, but it's just a really useful perk sometimes. Sometimes the killer gets a really good situation where they're able to get everyone down, and you're like, oh, this game's over. But someone has Unbreakable, that person could be you, and you could save the entire game. So I definitely say look at this perk, and if you like the idea of it, give it a shot. Next up, this is an honorable mention for a DLC as well. So Soul Guard, if there's any hexes, which are really common right now, Undying, still really strong. Blood Favor, anything else, Ruin, Devour Hope's still really strong. So yeah, I see a lot of killers running hexes right now, and I'm guessing still after the update they'll still be pretty popular, and people want to be trying them after the update as well. So yeah, just run this one. It's going to give you an Unbreakable effect, and also endurance when you get up, which is going to potentially save your life. It also works if someone else picks you up, so it's got a double sort of thing as well. So Save the Best for Last is an insane perk. Now with the decreases in successful attack time that are coming to killer as a base for all, this is going to be even better. It's going to feel like you basically have no cooldown time after you get a hit, and it's going to leave you right on that trail. So yeah, this is definitely a good one. The only thing with this one is you don't really want to hit the obsession too much when you've got your stacks. This is why it's good for killers that can use it in a double way, kind of killers that can put people down with their power, but also like the M1, kind of like Nemesis and all your other people like that as well. So it's just a great perk for almost anyone, and yeah, definitely check it out. Discordance is one of my favorite perks. It's not getting changed, but it's going to give you so much info, especially against newer teams that like to stay together. And it's going to even give you info against better teams that like to rush gens and use prove thyself and stuff like that. This is going to give you info across 128 meters, which in my opinion is basically the entire map, when more than one survivor is working on a gen together. So it's just going to tell you where 2 people are every time it procs, which is just a huge information advantage, and it's an absolute must perk. I would run this on all killers. It's great on all of them, and it will just help you out immensely. Next, we've got Deadlock. You don't even have to think about this one. It's just when a generator gets completed, the most progressed one is going to get blocked for 30 seconds. It's going to show you its aura too, so it's going to give you information of where the most progressed gen was, and also block it for 30 seconds. So it's going to give you information about where people were or are, and also block it for you so that you can save that 30 seconds on that specific gen and hopefully get control of the match a bit more through that time. And it obviously activates every time a gen gets done, so I definitely recommend this one. And then we've got Scourge Hook, Floods of Rage, but this isn't just Floods of Rage. I'd say all Scourge Hook perks are pretty nuts if you use them. You can use them stacked on top of each other and you get double Scourge Hook value. So definitely check all the Scourge Hook perks out and try them out for yourself. They're all nuts, but I'll run over Floods of Rage and I'll explain a bit about the other ones as well. So this one, once you put them on a Scourge Hook and they get taken off, it's going to show you all other survivors' auras for 7 seconds, which is a huge value game for most killers, especially things like Huntress or Hillbilly, someone who likes to get around the map or gets hits from afar, Blight, Nurse, anything like that. It's absolutely insane. It's insane on all, to be honest. Obviously slower killers like Hag, Cannibal, everything like that, Trapper, it's going to be a little bit worse, but obviously knowing where everyone is on the map is just nuts. And then the other ones to go with that, we've got Pain Resonance, Gift of Pain, and I believe there's another one that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, Pain Resonance is getting changed a little bit, but it's basically gonna just help you slow down the game immensely. And if you pair that with another Scourge Hook, it's just free value throughout the entire course of the game. Alright, so those were our best DLC perks. Obviously there's a lot more that I have on the list here, which I'm just gonna quickly mention and you can check out for yourselves. So we've got Dead Man Switch. It's absolutely insane, especially on killers like Artist. Anyone's that have full map pressure and can get you off gens easily, maybe Plague, things like that. There's also Jolt as well, which is getting buffed. It's really good. No Way Out is absolutely insane, and Thrilling Tremors. I think I have one of those in the honorable mentions, but let's for now head into the free perks. So these are, I'm not saying to run this exact build, I'm just telling you what some of the best ones are. So we've got these ones, and I've got a few more I really want to mention for you guys to help you out. So we'll run over these ones quickly, and then I'll explain the other ones as well. Now, Thanatophobia was already a really insane perk, as you can see right here. It gives you a maximum of 20% extra reduction to repair speeds and all that sort of stuff, and it's getting buffed. So it's just a free perk. You just want to try and get as many of them as in the injured state as possible, and to pair with that really nicely, you've got Nurse's Calling, so you can see where they're healing. So these two pair absolutely insanely together, and Nurse's Calling gives you so much value, especially if you're a new player. If you're a new player, people like to heal all the time within your terror radius, and you're just going to get heaps of free information, heaps of free downs from this, and it helps me even at rank 1 versing better survivors. All right, so definitely do this. Most of the time it tells you where 2 people are, and it just stops them right in their tracks, and you're able to get a free hit. Bitter Murmur is also an insane perk. Once a generator is completed, you see the auras of people for 5 seconds afterwards within 16 meters for all generators, and then the last one, you see all survivors no matter where they are for 10 seconds. So it's going to give you that information periodically throughout the match, and then at the end of the match it's going to give you that big burst, 10 seconds, where you're just going to be able to figure out what exegates they're going to, what they're doing, and what their strategy is as well. It's really useful if you have them injured and they go to the other side of the map to heal. You can catch them off over there and just end the game like that as well. There's agitation, which is always a good one. People never expect that extra movement speed when you are taking people to the hook. If you pair this with Mad Grid or Starstruck or something like that, it's absolutely insane. But by itself, it gives you enough value. It saves you the time, take it to the hook, can get you free hits on the hook, and it can help you make it to a hook that's a little bit further away. It's like Iron Grasp, but in my opinion, just a little bit better. So yeah, definitely a perk you should take a look at. I'm going to go over the honorable mentions and then a few other perks I want to talk about as well. So I've got Sloppy Butcher here, which pairs really nicely with Nurse's Calling and Thanatophobia. It's a basic perk, able to all, no matter what killers you have leveled up or not. And it's just going to increase the rate, decrease the rate, sorry, at which they heal by 25%. And also when they stop healing, it's going to give you a notification as well. And also put way more blood on the floor. So it's just really good. And I'll slow the game down for you if you pair that with Nurse's Calling and Thanatophobia. But you don't have to use it as well. Fearmonger is a really good perk that a lot of people run at all ranks, and it's basically just free blindness and exhaustion effect once you get off of a gen, which is going to stop them from using things like Dead Hard, Sprint Burst, Lithe, all those sorts of things, unless they're smart about it and walk around a loop. But if you catch them off guard, they might not even be thinking about it, and then you can get some nice free downs when they thought they had their exhaustion perk up and stuff like that as well. It also forces them to get off gens to find out where their survivors are on the hook and things like that. So yeah, it's just overall a really good perk. Now these two perks are known as probably the best perks, but in my opinion they're a little bit they have a few things that they depend on. Okay, so Corrupt Intervention before this change was the best perk in the game, pretty much, in my opinion. It just pushes all the survivors towards you. You don't have to worry about 3 extra survivors for 2 minutes at the start of the game. Okay, it's going to do the same thing, but it's going to be deactivated once you down someone, which is still pretty good. But if you're competent at the start of the match, that you will get it down. Now it's not even a hook, it's just a down, so you can really stop the amount of value that you can get from this perk if you're feeling competent with your killer. So, and I know that it's based off how good you are, that the people you verse now, it's got like all the MMR and everything. So if you're newer, you're going to be versing newer people, therefore having a better chance to put them down as well. So don't feel like you need to use this because you're so bad. But if you are struggling at the start of a match, this one is a go-to perk that's obviously going to help you a ton. Okay, and now if you pair this with the other perks that keep them injured, you could maybe just even use this to just get all 4 people injured and push them into one corner as well. And then we've got Call of Brine here, which is an absolutely nuts perk. It basically tells you where people are after the update, also regresses, and it's available for 60 seconds. So it's like an anti-gen perk. You just put it on one gen, and for 60 seconds after that, if they touch it, it'll let you know, and it'll just let you just come back and bully them off of that gen again and again and again. All right, I've got a few other perks that I want to just tell you that are really good quickly. So if you don't want to get looped, Brutal Strength, Enduring, Spirit Fury, and what's the other one called? Sorry, I'll just have a look for you right now. Bamboozle, sorry. So Spirit Fury, Brutal Strength, Enduring, and Bamboozle is a really good perk if you're having trouble on those loops. If you're not having trouble with everything else, like map pressure and gens, and you're just getting looped for too long and that's wasting too much time, try those perks out. They're really good together. Enduring stops the amount of time you get stunned by I think it's some percent, I can't remember, but it's really good. Brutal Strength lets you kick everything faster by 25%. That's including gens, walls, and pallets as well. And then you've got Bamboozle, which sometimes catch people off guard. It's going to block the window and let you vault it a little bit faster. And then obviously Spirit Fury just goes nicely with all of those. A few more perks that I want to just mention again. Thrilling Tremors and No Way Out are super good, and Jolt after the update. Jolt is a free perk for all, so definitely check that one out. It's just going to provide pressure in the area that you're in and everything like that. So I just wanted to go over what I said at the start of the video real quickly one more time. As you can see, I didn't have many perks before the event, and I managed to level everyone up. So what I'm going to be doing before the update comes out, which is either going to be the 19th, 20th, 26th, or 27th. So you've got a few days. I would say have as many at Prestige 1 as you can before the 19th, because that's the earliest it can come. because that's going to show you the most perks. So as you can see, I'm prestiging everyone to level 1, and I will get everyone to prestige 1 that I can. Now, there is a few things that you need to know about this. For example, I'm not going to be prestiging my Huntress, because if you have 6 pages of perks, you're going to get 2 prestige levels anyway, and therefore I would lose all of my add-ons and all of my offerings as well. So for me, this one, it just isn't worth it. If you have a similar thing where you have a lot of perks on someone, and I'm talking a lot, if you have 4 perks of all tier 3, so if you have 4 pages filled where they're all tier 3, you will get 1 prestige level, which is quite good. And then if you have more than that, can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I think it's like 30 more tiers than that, you will get an extra prestige level as well. So that will get you 3. So I think it's somewhere around 6 pages of perks marks will get you equal to what 1 prestige will now. So yeah, definitely try and keep that in mind. Get as many to prestige 1 as you can, or get those 6 pages of perks. Obviously, if you have someone else that doesn't have as many perks but has something special to you, like some plans, some earlier events, or anything like that you don't want to keep, then definitely just keep those on the person and then prestige them after. It'll be no worries in earning blood points as well. Another thing to tell you is the shards are not going to work the same way. So if you're going to have all the things you need before the update comes out, the iridescent shards are, they haven't told us now how much blood points they're going to give us per 2000, because right now they give 150k. So definitely, if you want to make sure that you get your best use out of them, spend them on things you've already got, and maybe get those extra blood points. And one more thing to note, they just said the other day that they're going to increase the blood point cap from 1 to 2 million. So be ready for that, guys. It's going to be a super, super nice change. And yeah, if you have anything else you want to add in the comments below, please let me know. And I really hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I put a lot of effort into this one, and just figuring out what the best perks were for you guys, and just to help new players a little bit with the new update coming out, and also what you should know before it comes out too. If you did enjoy, please subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Peace.